Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies again. And today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So quick little interesting news update today. Initially planned to do a video talking about how the game's going to get more expensive in December and how things might change and stuff we might see as a result of that. But if you don't know, we did get a little mini patch pushed out today. Does not affect anything that we've seen directly gameplay related, just as some stability stuff. Daredevil's still bugged, by the way. Probably have to wait for the 5th on that one for the next big patch, but we did get a little bit of Datamine information, some of which was particularly interesting surrounding the cards that are releasing in the month of December. So, what happened? Three main things happened. 2 cards got buffed. So, Shaw, which is the Season Pass card, and the Blob both received a bit of additional stats. Shaw is now a 3/4, Blob is now a 6/4, with all the same abilities they had previously. Shaw gains 2 more power every time it permanently gains power, whether it's in your deck or on the field or wherever. And Blob, same ability, on reveal, merge your deck into this, and ongoing can be moved. So we both got a point of power, that's nice. The more interesting one, though, is Firestar has been pulled from release entirely. Firestar, according to the Datamine, is no longer going to be releasing in the month of December. Now, this is pretty big, not only because Firestar, I think, was one of the cards people were more excited for, but the real reason this is big is because December was going to be the month where Snap was going to start to experiment with releasing an additional new card a month. If we take a look here at the old Spotlight Cash schedule, we can see that they had planned to release Blob during the week that Shaw came out with the beginning of the new season. Firestar was going to be the following week. So essentially there was just going to be an additional new card during that first week, whereas previously we just get old cards showing up in the Spotlight for that week. If you want the new card, you have to get it through the Season Pass. There is no other new card to obtain. Now, I think this is something they're still going to do, and something they probably still want to do in terms of increasing the output of new cards into the game. But for whatever reason, it seems last minute they have made the decision where, well, we're not going to do that just yet. So on one hand, that's not really a bad thing, because it does push off the issue of the game getting more expensive with new releases. I think this is generally a good thing. I think adding more cards to the game is a good thing. But they also have to add some way for players to be able to keep up with it. If they're making it more expensive to keep up with, they need some kind of mechanic where they can offset the cost of that a bit for the players. Otherwise, it's going to go over very, very poorly. Because as is, a lot of people feel like they have trouble keeping up with the game, and adding, 12 more cards a year, which is a lot, given that we're only getting, 4 cards a month most of the time. That's a lot of new cards and a lot of resources to keep up with. So Firestar gone entirely. We can see how things have changed here. So Man-Thing, you're going to have another chance at getting Man-Thing during that first week of December. He is replacing Blob, who was there previously, and then Blob is taking the spot of Firestar in the December 12th through December 19th week. So if you had planned out your Spotlight caches and were looking for one of those cards, now your plans might be adjusted a little bit. That was one of the other things we wanted to cover here. Make sure people can kind of plan out what they're looking for. So if you're looking for that Blob, or maybe you were interested in the Tribunal week, now things are changed. Man-Thing has moved around a ton. Initially, he was part of, I think, the Tribunal week, and then Tribunal replaced him, and now he's replacing Blob in the first week. So it went from Man-Thing in December to no Man-Thing in December, and now he's back. So this has changed a bit. We also can see another Spotlight variant. It looks like they've changed the Spotlight for Man-Thing that's going to be appearing. Previously, when it was initially data-mined, it had the comic cover variant, and now it has this different one. So yeah, those are the main changes we got in this mini patch. Again, if you didn't already hear the news, the main patch has been delayed. It was expected tomorrow initially, but now it has been delayed to the 5th of December. And it is most likely going to be the only patch in the month of December. No OTAs, no other patches. So December 5th is the big day. Mark it on your calendar because that's probably going to determine just how the game is going to look like for the entire month of December as well as the first week of January. One thing I do think is interesting is if you looked at the announcement for when they did mention that they are just making 5th the patch and they don't expect to do other patches during the month, no OTAs. They did say, unless something crazy happens, we won't be doing any more OTAs and we won't be doing our normally scheduled OTA for the 7th. And I do wonder if that means they are doing something particularly like out there in terms of balance in the patch. My mind immediately goes to back when they buffed Magic. I think that was one of the crazier buffs they've done that affected the game very dramatically in the short term. So I wonder if we're going to see another big buff like that, where they're buffing a card and they know it's going to be strong, but maybe not how strong. Because if you think about it, the patch is on the 5th and they're talking about the 7th. A 2-day window is like no time for data. So maybe they're just saying that precautiously, but maybe it also means that whatever change they have planned, they're going a little bit harder with, like we saw with maybe Magic, or another one that comes to mind is when they initially buffed Enchantress to a 4/6 and then bumped her back down to a 4/5 because the 4/6 stat line just seemed to be a bit too strong. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the update info we have here. My personal theory is that they are going to try and time adding another new card a month to the game with whenever series drops resume, or when we have the announcement of how series drops are going to resume. And maybe they decided they needed a bit more time, or they're going to tell us what's going on with that in the patch, but it's not actually going to happen until sometime next year. And that's when we can kind of expect them to add this additional card to keep the flow of things going, getting more cards into Pool 4 and Pool 5 so they have stuff for their Spotlight system, while still moving some of the older cards down in series. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Has this changed what you are planning on picking up in terms of the Spotlight weeks? Are you more or less interested in a given week? And are you more or less interested in Blob or Shaw now that they have a little bit of additional stats? I'd love to hear it. That's going to wrap it up for this video, though. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.